What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing amazing on this day. Here with my son, you hear him in the background. But I wanted to bring up and truly discuss, when you don't know, not knowing, right? And I think that's what a lot of us fall into, just being crippled by, right? Just not knowing how anything is going to happen, not knowing how the next meal is going to be placed, right? It's the not knowing. It literally chokes me, right? But I really think that it is it's a powerful strategy, right? That maybe the universe uses, that maybe God uses in order for us to rely, right, and really trust, because we're people of control, right? If we look at everything of what's going on in the world, everything is all about control, right? And power and the tug of war in between certain things. So when you can just remain calm, rely and trust in yourself and trust in your abilities and trust in, just the spirituality that you have developed over time, everything does work out in the manner that it needs to work out in. It's just terrifying, right? It's truly terrifying when you don't know how the next page is going to unfold. But it's literally that, right? It's literally having a book, pulling it out, reading it, and not knowing what the next page is going to start to read and unfold, right? And then you'll start to discover new things, another strategy, another pathway. If you guys have read those books when you were in elementary school, where I can't really remember the names of the books, but when you read the book, you had to pick, which strategy or which thing that you thought that the character in the page was going to should choose, right? Which pathway. It really unfolds in that, along that line, right? Because you really don't know what's going to happen. Again, it's terrifying, it truly is. But it just reminds me of a time when, I literally was pouring coins, right? Collecting all the cash coins that I had in my household to go and, pour it into a coin machine so that I could get cash, right? Because I didn't have it, right? There's a lot of us who are suffering from that. Like literally are drowning in the things, the situations that we're in, right? We're drowning in our struggles, right? Literally. And some of us have been on survival mode so long that we don't even know anything else than surviving, right? Yeah, you see hustling. I'm a hustler. I hustle 7 jobs. But you're literally surviving, right? If you're hustling 7 jobs and that's how you make ends meet, it's because you're surviving. Now, if you have a substantial amount of money and you're hustling and you're adding different hustles, you're out of survival mode. Now you're hustling, right? You're hustling because you're just, you're making that money multiply. But if you're in a situation where you're literally surviving, right? You're working these jobs because, I need these jobs in order for me to survive. You're surviving, right? We've all been in survival mode so long that, again, it's the unknown, because that's something that we control, right? We can control what we need to do in order for us to get what we need to get. But when that control is taken away, it is terrifying, right? So I just want to encourage you guys out there to know that it's the unknowing that is terrifying, but it's also the opportunity, right, for you to trust, build your faith, rely, right? I have been really telling myself that, God, I surrender. I surrender to you. I surrender to you. I surrender to your will. I surrender to your will. When I start to feel that anxiety, right, build up, I surrender. Surrendering, that's some of the hardest things to do, right? I just wanted to kind of touch on that real quick. Hope you guys are doing amazing. I got some new information I'm going to be dropping. And as always, I love you guys. Stay positive. Stay strong. Don't let the bad days get you down, and don't let the good days get you too high up, because you need to be able to kind of balance them, right? It's the character that you're building. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.